We've now established how drainage and utility feature definitions are a little bit different than typical feature definitions for the ORD application, particularly when it comes to the utility properties / hydraulic properties that correlate and interact with the feature definition properties itself. Another thing to keep in mind specifically for drainage and utility feature definitions is they're typically dependent on the roadway design, in that structures are typically placed at the top of finished grade. And so with the ORD application, there's ways of ruling structures to the ORD terrain or alignments. The best way to illustrate this is just by showing how to place one according to these parameters. I'll show briefly how to place a gutter inlet using the terrain as a rule. However, this will be done in greater detail later on. Under Place Node, I'm going to go ahead and select Stormwater Catch Basin Gutter Inlet. And I'm going to select the terrain. This is where it rules it. And you can see after I've selected that, it's giving me the elevation for where it'll lay it. After I accept that prompt, it'll ask for a rotation, and this is the other option where you can rule it to an alignment and so that it is perpendicular to the alignment. You can lock in the rotation. Change it to 90 degrees. And now the inlet's been placed using the finished ground elevation for the top, and it's aligned perfectly perpendicular to the alignment that I selected in the middle here. And if we go back to the feature definition properties, we can see how it's ruled to the surface and to the alignment. It'll let us know that. You can see here the rotation reference is CL5, which is the alignment file I have referenced in here, this blue line. And we can also notice that the finished grade is tied to the proposed terrain. It's indicated here under elevation reference. You will not be able to adjust the ground elevation afterwards because it's ruled there. You would have to remove that reference for you to be able to modify that. Same with the alignment. The most effective way to remove the alignment and or finish grade would be to select it and grab this handle. There's a little node handle there, and it'll give you a prompt to change elevation or reference surface. Go ahead and hit Alt, and then to remove an existing reference you'll hit Control, and then you can replace that, and it has been placed with the new elevation, but it's no longer ruled to the terrain. As you can see here, there is no more elevation reference, and you can modify it from there. Options such as use slope of surface will not work without the surface, of course, so that's something to keep in mind. It may have also determined your longitudinal slope and cross slope through the terrain, which may or may not be correct, and it may lock you out of modifying those if you are ruled to a terrain, so sometimes you may need to detach the terrain for that reason as well. One final note on ruling to a terrain: you can leave it ruled to a terrain, and if for some reason you needed to adjust it higher, for example you needed an elevated rim, there is an option for a vertical offset. So for example, if I add a foot to it, you can see that the inlet will be raised by a foot, and if I click back into it, it'll show the new ground elevation as a foot higher, and the elevation and the hydraulic properties will be adjusted as well.